Hello everyone, and welcome to another TI9 team preview. This time, we're going to be talking about Alliance. TI9 is somewhat of a homecoming for the Kings of the North, who have missed out on the last two TIs since the original roster finally broke up for the last time. And this Alliance roster is certainly much different than their TI winning predecessors. Constructed from former Heroes of Newerth professionals and the experienced Qualification, this Alliance roster has been on the grind over the last 2 years. It has been a tough transition from Heroes of Newerth for Insania, Mickey, Taiga, and Boxy. There have been moments of success for this roster, but when you are playing under the weight of the Alliance name and in the most difficult region in the entire Dota 2 scene, the road to victory, the road to success is a long and arduous one. But when you're on a difficult path, the best traveling companions are your best friends, and that's what these guys really look like. The chemistry between the Alliance players is undeniable, and it truly shows up in their gameplay, as they clearly trust each other to execute correctly, and that is why many of their rotations and plays look so clean. They're on the same page, and that's what happens when you forge a bond through trials and tribulations. Qualifying for events from the European region this season has been a lot like trying to swim with cinder blocks tied to your feet, and Alliance still managed to make it to 3 out of the 5 majors, with their best finish coming at the most recent one, Epicenter, where they placed 5th to 6th place. The truth is, great training partners creates a great learning environment. And it certainly looks like Alliance has taken advantage of that because they have grown consistently throughout this year. Under the experienced eye of Loda, their coach, Alliance has created their own style and seems to be settling into it day by day, becoming more and more consistent in their play and drafting. They struggled mightily to close out games during the early stages of the DPC season, and that caused them to play a lot of long, drawn-out, stressful games. And instead of tearing the team apart, which is something that is pretty common in the Dota scene, the alliance between the players has only grown stronger. It seems as though they may really be peaking at the right time, and from everything that we've ever seen at TI, momentum is one of the most important factors to having a great TI run. This is not a team that could coast into TI, and they had to fight their way to actually be here. First, they had to qualify for the Star Ladder Minor, the final minor of the season, where they were able to claim one of the final 2 slots at the final major of the season, Epicenter. Entering Epicenter, Alliance still had not punched their ticket to the International, and after a poor showing in the group stages, they found themselves in the best of 1 elimination first round of the lower bracket. After defeating Infamous in the best of 1, Alliance found themselves against RNG, another team fighting for those last few DPC points to qualify for TI9. After dashing their hopes and dreams and sending RNG to the Chinese qualifiers, Alliance then found themselves against Gambit Esports, who also needed to win the series to qualify for TI9. And under this immense pressure, Alliance prevailed, punching their ticket to the International in Shanghai. For many teams, this would be the perfect opportunity to kick back and take a little bit of a vacation after such a grueling season. But Alliance is a bunch of grinders, and they couldn't help but play more Dota. So it was off to LA for the Summit 10, where they took the entire tournament, going 3-0 against Pain in the grand finals, earning a cool $42,000 and adding to their momentum heading into the International. TI is always seen as the most mentally taxing tournament of the entire year, but it is hard to find another team that has endured more than Alliance has this year. And that factor, coupled with the trust that they have in each other, could set the stage for an incredible Cinderella story. But no team preview is complete without talking about the heroes and the players that play them. The captain, Insania, is relegated to a very sacrificial role on this team, and that's why we see him playing a lot of heroes with GPM talents or very good spells that can impact the game positively without very much farm. Grimstroke, Warlock, Oracle, Ancient Apparition, and Ogre are some of his staples in this role. Insania's sacrificial playstyle empowers Taiga, the position 4 support, to play much more greedy, and that's why we see him consistently on heroes like Enigma, Rubik, Shadow Shaman, and Dark Willow. Boxy, an offlaner who reached number 1 on the European ladder this season, is often expected to help carry the game, and so is given a lot more farm than your average position 3 player. Qualification provides most of the stability for this team in the mid lane, but does so on sort of a strange set of heroes. Traditional ones certainly show up, such as Storm Spirit, Queen of Pain, and Kunkka, but he is well known for being a Broodmother spammer, loving Lone Druid, and playing quite a bit of Clinks as well. Mikke is probably the biggest wild card on this team, and that is somewhat concerning for a carry player. He is a mechanically gifted player, however, and just needs to avoid getting caught out while farming to carry games.